Great stuff. So welcome again. I can see more people trickling in. So let us know where you are logging in, where you're joining us from. There's so many people from the UK. That's amazing. Welcome. We have Manchester, Newcastle, Huddersfield. We've got Liverpool, Sheffield, London. Amazing. Keep it coming. Let us know. Now, this session is going to be quite interactive, very hands-on. We're not just going to be talking at you. So please get ready to engage. Right, so we have London again. So keep it coming. Let us know where you have joined us from today. Great, St. Albans, great. Thank you, thank you, thank you for responding. Thank you for engaging. Keep it coming. As soon as you log in, let us know where you are joining us from. Great, people are coming in. Let me just admit them. Great stuff. So London, Newcastle, Huddersfield, Manchester. Let's see, Leeds, amazing. Oh, great, Bournemouth, that's great. Thank you, thank you. There's a lot of UK. Last time we had people from the US, Canada, but it looks like the UK is winning today, which is amazing. Birmingham, you're just right up my street there. Can we discuss that later, Gbemi? So Birmingham, I am just a few minutes from Birmingham, which is really good. So you're my neighbor. That's great. Keep it coming. We will start in exactly 1 minute. So we will start at 11:05. So far, I think about 19 people are in. Okay, great stuff. So Birmingham, Bournemouth, Leeds, St. Albans, London, Newcastle, Manchester, Huddersfield, Liverpool, Sheffield, London again, amazing, great stuff. And there is 22 of us in here. And we will start now. So welcome again. I will turn my camera off at some point when we start screen sharing. But just by way of introduction, most of you probably know me and maybe some others. Okay, let me just admit there's quite a lot of people in the waiting room. Just give me a second. I'll invite all of them in. Great, 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 great. Okay, I think so far everyone's who's waiting. Yeah, so please, as you come in, let us know where you joining us from today. Where have you logged in from? Let us know, type it in the chat and let us know. We'd like to have this data. Thank you very much. Just put it in the chat and say where you're coming from. So I'll put more people. Let me just admit. I think I'm going to make Emmanuel, I'll make you the co-host so you can man the chat, please. I'll do that in a minute. Bear with me. Let me co-host. Yes. Okie dokie. So I'll just admit more people. There's about 30 of us already, which is fantastic. Yeah, let me know. Type in the chat, where have you joined us from today? Let us know where you're joining from. Type it in the chat. Thank you. Okay, so right, I think it's 11:06. Let's make a start. So let me just run through how today is going to, how the session is going to run today. I'll start by an introduction, introducing myself, introducing Sterling Careers, because we are a company, a part of a group of company, and we have put this masterclass together today, and I will tell you a little bit about Sterling Careers in a minute. And then I'll hand over to my co-host, who's called Pankaj Kumar, where we fondly known as PK. He will come on and he will talk about, becoming a business analyst. That will take maybe 20, 30 minutes, where we deep dive into what you need to become. Sorry, it's the sun, it's just in my eyes. To become a business analyst. And I believe most of you are here because that's what you want to explore. And then we will have a small scenario, just a very brief exercise, more like an icebreaker, which Pankaj will also, he will drive that. And then we go deep dive. I will, sorry about that, go behind the scenes. Ooh, Pankaj is waiting. Yeah, we'll go behind the scenes and I will tell you about some of the projects we have in the pipeline. We will only be focusing on one as a case study today, just to help you drive business analysis, give you a good understanding of what it really what it means and why businesses actually initiate projects, because the business analyst functions within the project environment. And so we will kind of try to drive that home. We will show you some of the tools and templates that we use, techniques that we use for business analysis, just focusing on this specific project to be precise is what we're going to be doing today. And then we'll tell you, we'll talk also a little bit about how you can get started, what you need to do, how do you leverage your transferable skills, how do you network, how do you work towards being strategically positioned, because it's very important, especially if you're transitioning from a completely different field into business analysis. How do you ensure that you're networking right and you're being strategic, because that makes all the difference. And then we'll tell you about how we can help you, our offer and the discount that we have if you stay till the end. And that's pretty much how it's going to run today. So I'll make a start and just introduce. So what I'll do now, I'll turn off my camera and then I will start sharing screen. So give me 1 minute. And by the way, yes, we will have Q&As in case you're wondering. So if during the course of the session, if you've got any questions at all, please pop it in the chat and we will try to cover as many as we can. So any questions, either make a note of it or pop it in the chat, and that will be fantastic. Great stuff. So I'm going to start sharing my screen fully now. Okay, and let me know if you can still see my screen. I'm just going to move it to a larger screen. Radio. Okay, so let me know if you can still see the screen. Okay, I think I'm getting some calls. I don't know if you are on the WhatsApp group. Can you put your, if you've got any questions, put it on the chat, WhatsApp group. I'll pick it up. Please don't call me. Thank you. Yeah, so please do not call because I'm in the middle of this now. Just pop your questions in the chat if you've got any at all. Right, so I'm your host. Once again, welcome. And please, can you let me know in the chat if you can still see the screen, because I've just changed screens now. Let me know, just say yes or type a Y in the chat if you can still see my screen. I'm just trying. Yes, we can. Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you for the person joining from Bristol. Thank you, London. Thank you. I don't know who's so persistently calling me. Give me a minute. I don't know if it's somebody trying to get in. Just give me a sec. I'm so sorry about that. I think I'll just switch off my phone. Right, okay, so I am Veronica Modupe Yusuf. Some of you know me, some of you don't, but I'm the director and CEO of Sterling Careers Limited. I'll tell you about Sterling Careers in a minute. There are a few people still waiting to get in. Can you help them, Trev? So I got a master's in human resource management from the University of South Wales here in the UK. I've lived in the UK nearly 18 years now. And I've been in the IT space about a decade now. I started my journey, which I will tell you in a minute. I'll give you all the details. I've also got a BCS. I'm also qualified. BCS is just British Computer Society. And I've got the International Diploma in Business Analysis. That means I have completed all 5 modules to attain that diploma. I've also defended my knowledge knowledge and expertise around business analysis to a panel, and that obviously gave me that award. And about 5 years ago, I pivoted into the data privacy space, and at the moment, I'm the head of compliance for the tech function within a global organization across 60 countries and 8 regions. Now, I'm very passionate really about, supporting people who want to make a career change purely because of my story. So a lot of women resonate with my story because, they can relate. Sort of starting out, being a mom, wanting to grow a family. I am married. I've got 3 amazing children. My first is 15, going to be 16. My second is 12, and my son is going to be 11 in a few days, actually. Now, when I started this journey, I came into the UK not married. I was a single woman. I came into the UK purely just to, start my master's in human resource management. And I thought, wow, that's the ticket I needed to get me to the next level in my career. Then I met my husband, started a family. And then, of course, I had to stay home for a while. But then I knew that I wanted to balance family life and career. And so after maternity, I did try to get back onto the career ladder. I was hoping to get into human resource management, but I faced a lot of challenges because I kept getting, because you've come from Nigeria, you do not have a UK experience, as it were. So I kept getting no's and all of that. So let's cut this long story short. I eventually got a what you call it now, HR admin position, but it didn't tick all the boxes because the kind of flexibility I was looking for, that organization at the time weren't willing to give. And then I had to take a step back. I went back to the drawing board and I started thinking, can I make a career change? And yes, indeed, I found that I could make a career change into the tech space. Now, initially, when I found that out, it was very difficult because I didn't think it was possible, because I didn't have a technical background. My husband is in tech. He's been in tech now 25 years. So, and I just thought, no, I don't understand the first thing about programming. I do not have that. I'm not a geek, and so tech is not for me. Little did I know that tech was obviously broader, and I would tell you as we go throughout the course of this session, this masterclass, to say tech is not just about being a programmer, being a software developer, or being that geek, as it were. There are several areas within tech that you can function, and we'll talk about that shortly. Anyway, I then found out that I actually could make a transition into business analysis, and I, found out how to go about it, had to start mastering the skill, the relevant competencies, knowledge, skills required, and confidence required. Over time, it wasn't a walk in the park, but eventually I mastered that, and I was able to secure my very first role with a UK university as an IT business analyst, and I did that for some time. But then I'm really passionate about helping women who probably have had maternity breaks, career breaks for different reasons, and they just held back because they feel there's no hope for them and they just don't know where to start from. Some are even interested in becoming business analysts, but they're not sure how to go about it, and that's how my business was formed. Let me tell you about Sterling Careers. Now, we're a training and a coaching organization. So we offer career coaching. And what does that mean? We help you with, optimizing your LinkedIn, helping you with your resume. We have an amazing process that we go through with your CV so that it is ATS friendly. It ticks all the right boxes and it works. So we do that. And we also help you, to prepare for interviews. I have been running a few of those coaching sessions last week because we've got a few of our trainees who are ready to get out to the job market, and we offer that as well. And we also offer training in business analysis, hence you're here today, project management, data privacy, and we're looking at cybersecurity and a few others in the future. And that's pretty much what we do. So our approach is very hands-on. So we don't talk at you and just take you through all that theoretical bits, without showing you how to apply it. And so our unique selling point is actually helping you, first of all, to understand the concepts, to get that relevant knowledge around business analysis, project management, PMO, data privacy, and then we show you how to apply that through our live projects. Now, we don't have, with our projects are real life projects, they're not case studies. We do case studies during the theory part, but when you eventually move on to the projects, you are actually working on a live project. Some of these projects are internal projects for us as a business, and some are external projects. Right now, we have an external project that is ongoing, an amazing property tech product that is, being launched, and we are supporting that startup. And so that's kind of what you will get. So it's not just a theory, but we show you how to apply that, and you pick up relevant skills. We show you how to use these tools and templates because you have full access to them. And we have a community made up of experts as well who have been in the tech space for years, and you will see them in a minute. And essentially our classes are, of course, virtual. We used to run in-person sessions before, but since COVID, we've moved everything virtual. And so it's easier for people like you to join us from all over the world. And normally we meet weekdays in the evenings, because we do not say quit your job. We say keep your job until you've made that successful transition. Then you can put your notice in. And that means you will have to combine working on your job and going through our program. Guess what? I'm still on my job because I just like the fact that, you can have, variety of engagements with people and all of that. And then we also have Saturdays where we run the theory. Now, this is our team at the moment, and it is growing. We are just taking on board a few more. They're not on here, but so what you have here is my humble self, and you've seen all that I have and more in terms of qualification and experience. In case you're wondering, why does she think she's qualified to be running this masterclass? Then we have Kaushalia. We call her Kush. And then Kush also has been in tech for over 15 years. I've worked with Kush before. We were in the organization where I'm currently, but she's moved on into financial services now. So she is our PM trainer and one of the mentors as well. And then we've got Olaide George, amazing PMO person. She's worked across different organizations and sectors within the UK, has a law background, but transition into project management. And then we also have PK, who's going to be co-hosting with me. PK is our BA trainer. Amazing experience. He's going to tell you about it. I won't take his shine. We've got Esther, who's our PMO manager, also started where you are today, was in care for 15 years, but she successfully made a career change, a transition into becoming a project management professional. And she's in the higher education space and doing amazing well as a contractor. Then we have
sorry, Veronica. I'm sorry, apologizing. We can't see your screen. We can't see the slides that you're trying to share. All we see is the home screen. If you can share your slides, please.
I asked if they could see my screen and they said yes. Can you?
Oh.
So what can you see now?
I'm seeing the home screen, your desktop, Veronica.
Oh, wow, that's strange. I thought they could see my screen, and I've been talking all this. Thanks for that, Pankaj.
Sure.
Right, okay, let me reshare. Oh, that's a shame. Sorry, guys. I thought you could see my screen. Let me know. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, no, it's fine. Thank you.
Right, I'm going to go back quickly. Sorry about that. Thank you, guys. You should have stopped me. Right, okay.
Yeah, we actually put that in the shots.
Oh, did you? So thank you for that. Trev, can you man the chat, please, and stop me if there's anything? Oh, sorry about that. That's a shame. Well, anyway, thank you for that. So quickly, I'm going to whiz through. So we have, this is the team, Kaushalia. I've talked about her already. Laide, you can see that. Pankaj, who is our BA trainer, who'll be co-hosting with me today, and he'll tell you a lot about himself. Very experienced, amazing CV and experience. Esther, PMO manager, was in care for 15 years, but she joined our program. Now she's a mentor and supporting as well. Helen also, legal law background, as she became a business analyst and has been working with us as well. We recently added a few more team members. They're just not on the slides. They will be joining us. So when you join the program, you will have a lot of support, not only from myself, but from the team of experienced professionals who have been in the tech space for a good number of years. And what is our mission? It is to bridge the gap between theory. So a lot of you may have actually maybe done some certifications. Some of you have even done business analysis certifications, and a few others, maybe Scrum, you have done Agile, you've done a lot of these things, but you do not have a way of actually practicalizing or putting into practice all this theoretical knowledge that you have picked up over time. And that is where we come in, and we show you how to actually apply all this knowledge that you've picked up to real life scenarios via live projects that you come on. And we review your performance as you go. We help you to build confidence and the skills that is required, because that gives you the edge. Even though, yes, we talk about leveraging transferable skills, but then there are certain skills or skill set or competencies that will give you a boost, that will give you an edge, and we show you how to pick up those skills. We motivate you. We help you to set smart goals, and we obviously have engagements through we've got projects, we've got different teams, and we have a community of experts and like-minded individuals like yourself. Now, we used to have in-person sessions, like I said. That's a picture where one of our live events in London, but we have now gone virtual so that we can reach more people. I think I talked to you a lot about my story as well, but I was, I settled, because it was just hard for me to break in after maternity. I tried teaching assistant roles from different agencies, customer service, just here and there, earning just barely minimum wage or even less, which of course was difficult, especially because I was just growing a family. And I knew there was more. I wanted more, and I started looking for how to make a career change, and I eventually was able to successfully get into IT business analyst for a university, earning £450 a day. Imagine the shift from £7.50 to that. So that's a bit about myself and the organization. So because of time now, we are going to go deep dive into telling you about business analysis. Some of you may have done your research, some of you have an idea, but we will tell you from our perspective and also talk to you about the day in the life of a BA, which will be handled by the amazing Pankaj. So over to you, Pankaj. Welcome again, everyone. Also, before I hand over to Pankaj, tell me in the chat, what are you looking to get? Do you want to make a career change into becoming a business analyst, or are you here because you just want, you just want to see what this is about? So put in the chat, what exactly is your goal? Why have you joined us today? Put it in the chat, and I'll hand over to Pankaj. Over to you, Pankaj.
Thank you so very much, Veronica. And really proud to hear about all those great lineage that you've been talking about from our company, Starting Careers. It's really helping the community and then all the aspirants, achieving their goals. So yeah, it's a proud feeling to be a part of your core team of facilitators, one of the facilitators. So guys, welcome aboard. My name is Pankaj Kumar. You can call me PK. Keep it short and simple, because it makes your life very easy. And then just to introduce myself, I'm one of the core team members handling this BA business analysis trainings. We just recently finished a very good, beautiful cohort in November, just last year, and it was one of the. In fact, we actually talked about this cohort in our Instagram live, if you were there with us. So yeah, that has also been another successful event for us, and we have finished this cohort with good number of candidates. I think there were about 11 candidates, yes, and out of which many of them are already being noticed by the recruiters, and then a couple of them have already landed up in job. So yeah, allow me to introduce myself. My name is PK again, and I've been in this industry of business analysis for a good deal of time, roughly about 15 years, and I'm based out of Sydney, Australia. And I've been having good opportunities to work with all the top clients, especially in banking and financial service industry sector. I've been working with clients like Bank of America in US. I was there in States for about 4 years there. I delivered quite a lot of projects in their retail banking and deposits banking in the capacity of business analyst. And then moved on to Australia, wherein I started working with one of the top big four banks here in Australia, I would say, which is Commonwealth Bank of Australia. I was there for about 5.5 years, and kept on moving across different various tier 1 and tier 2 financial and financial and banking industry companies. So my career spans for about 15 plus years, and then I've delivered projects spanning from mortgage, risk, predominantly around the credit risk area, payments, core banking. Data has been close to my heart. Retail banking. Right now, I'm working with ANZ Bank, wherein I'm supposed to deliver that institutional lending customers for another 6 months or so. So my experience spans quite a lot across regulatory, data, reporting, risk, and governance. Kind of those areas are the ones which I've been looking at. In terms of my background of my knowledge, my studies, I've been also an instructor at Monash University in Australia, and I've finished a few courses in digital fintech course here successfully. Well, that's about me. And I would like to work with you guys tonight just to give you a bit of sneak peek on what this business analysis field is all about. Some of you guys have probably not heard of this term. You may probably have heard this term, but if you want to know a little bit more on what this career aspect is all about, what do we have? What does this business analysis offer as a career change if you want to? I'm seeing a lot of messages from our participants around the career change to BA. So what is this BA stream all about? All right, so let's talk a little bit about it. But before we do, I can see 52 participants in the call. We'll start with a small exercise, and I would need all of you guys to switch on your camera. It's part of our activity. If you're not comfortable, just put it in chat, but we do need to see this activity work interactive along this session. So if you can please turn on your camera, if I can request that, please. Right, so I can see Mandy. Thank you so much, Mandy. Linda, thank you for that. Richard, great to see you. Opemi, Sola, Samuel, very good. Thank you, guys. Kenny, looks like you're in US. That's great. Right, some people are taking some time, not a problem, but many of you I can see already. Okay, if you are at work, if you have another commitment, absolutely fine. Thanks, Folato. Not a problem. So I see half of the participants have turned on your camera. Not a problem. Okay. So in the interest of time, I'll still go ahead with the activity, and then you will have to turn your camera for maybe a few seconds if you have the opportunity to. So yeah, this activity is very, very simple. As Veronica has already advised you in the Insta Live, I'm pretty sure each one of you have got a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be blank. It can be even a filled paper. That's fine. I just need you guys to have a piece of paper with you right now. If you do not, that's fine. We'll probably have 30 seconds for you to bring a piece of paper with you guys. That's fine, boy. Not a problem. Get a piece of paper. Yeah, I can see Sola. Thank you. Yeah, Richard, you have a question, do you? Richard at ABC, I see your hand up. You put your hand up. Do you have a question? Okay, I'll take that as no. All right. Okay, so let's get cracking with this activity, guys. 30 seconds are over. So I'm pretty sure, and I'm very confident that each one of you must have created a paper airplane when you were a kid, in your early childhood days, right? If you do not, please ping us in chat. But yeah, my assumption right now is each one of us know how to build a paper plane. If not, try using your creativity and then come up with a paper model of an airplane. All right. So what we're going to do is I would just need you guys to create a paper airplane as fast as you can. And once you do that, ping your name in the chat, or you're done. Just ping you're done as fast as you can. And just once everybody is done, then we will just try to see the model that you have created. It should not take more than, with my statistic, it doesn't take more than 22 seconds for a person to build a paper airplane, but we'll keep it maybe roughly about half a minute or maybe a minute if you need more time. All right, so off you go, guys. Take your time. Thank you. Good, Mandy. Done. Thank you. All right, keep going. Build a paper plane. And then once you are done, ping in chat like Mandy has done, and we'll take it from there. If you need a hand, let me know. Thanks, Renate. Thank you for that. You're done. That's great. That's great. I can see Linda, you're already done, but we'll look at everybody's model right after you guys are done. Everybody's done. Yeah. So Kay is done. Anita is done. That's great. Sheila is done. Faluto done. Very good. Kenny is done. Keep going, guys. I see some people are taking longer than expected. It's roughly about 30 seconds. It's not that hard. Very easy. Build a small, simple airplane, right? Don't have to build it too complex. Some people may have probably forgotten how to do that. So brush up your memories. Thanks, Ebere. Thanks, Joyce. Omalara, Oinike. That's great. Good to see Edinog, Kenny. Good to see your progress, Ebere. Edebimpe. Sorry if I'm pronouncing the names wrong. Please apologize. I mean, I will apologize in advance. Please forgive me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Sorry about that. John, that's great to see. Right. I see Mandy is also done. Good, good, good. People are making good progress. Already, I think it's about 30% or not 40. It's about 40% people who are still done. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds. I will stop my timer. And I would want you guys to show your paper plane on your screen right now, whoever is done. Okay. And just allow me a minute, please. I'm just going to look at Solar. Yeah. And please, guys, compare your model with everybody else's, right? So that's what we want to compare, the output from each one of you. So I can see Solar. That's great. It's a small airplane. That's good. It's got the natural wings. Mandy, I can see Mandy. It's just a long one. It's a long nose, right? Very good. Linda, I see yours is quite different too. Again, Mandy and Solas, that's good, right? Wunmi, I'm not seeing yours. Okay, Oinike, that's a fighter jet. Maybe, yeah, that's a new style. That's another model. Very good, very good. Omolara, that's a very creative one. Yeah, it's just like it's wings. Very good, very good. Sunny, if you can just bring it closer to the camera, please. Yep. That's nice. Very good, very good. It's got its flat back, very good. Follow to, I think your paper plane is quite big, very nice, but it's got this good structure, very nice. Right, so I can see your paper planes, guys, and you guys have taken about roughly under a minute, and I can see everybody's, most of them fit into like maybe 3 categories. One is like quite large. Somewhere, some people have got long nose, some people have got big long wings, some people have got tails, big enough, right? Now, tell me one thing. When I gave you, I gave you a task, right? Each one had a task to finish. Roughly, you guys were pressed on time. Let's retrospectively look at what we have done, right? What has happened right now. So thank you, first of all, everybody's effort. Great job. Everybody has come up with his or her own model of paper airplane. Spot on, right? You guys did your job fantastic. But if you compare your model with others, it's quite different. Why is this inconsistency, right? And why is everybody's paper plane different to others, possibly, right? There's not a single model. Now, let me ask you a question. When I gave you this task, did you guys ask me any question around the specification? Did anybody confirm what kind of paper airplane do I want? Right? What size of paper do I want you to take? You could have taken A4 size. Somebody has taken maybe a long, massive paper, right? So that's one good reason. Nobody asked even a single question, right? All I told was the time, right? And I said, build it as fast as possible. Everybody started jumping into, I got an aim, I got to build an airplane, right? Nobody asked even a single question, right, on what the specifications are. Why do we need to assume saying it's the same airplane that you guys have learned in your childhood, right? It will be a different one. I did never give you a specification. Nobody asked any question, all right? So that's the beauty, and that's the reason why we have a job and career called business analysis, right? Sometimes, people make assumptions. Sometimes it's taken for granted, wherein people say that, we got to build, let's say, a mobile app. That's good. You can't build things on assumptions, right? You need somebody to collect those requirements and translate in a shape or form which could be easily understood by the team who's delivering, who's actually building it, right? So if I were you, which we are, I mean, I have started my career as a business analyst, right, long back, but I'm also a person like you, and I also know I've got some preconceived notion. I've got an opinion around what an airplane looks like. But if a task is given to me as a BA, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to ask this question: what are the specifications? Give me a prototype model. How should it look like? Right? What are the timings? Do you want me to build a small plane or a large one? What's the specification looking like? Right? So what's the design going to look like? Right? That's where a BA comes into picture. Right? I hope it gives you a bit of idea of why this job of BA is coming into picture. Right? Think of me, if I were to build a mobile app, I could have very well asked you straight away saying that, hey, can you build a mobile app, something similar to the one you're using? No, I can't work directly with developers. Even though I have a product knowledge, I need a template or a universally recognized framework. And that's where the specialists like business analysts come into picture. They take the requirements, collect the requirements, sometimes elicit the requirements, sometimes help the stakeholders understand the requirements, what they should need or what they don't need, right? They advise the business what could be a tangible output. So Veronica, if you could probably move on to the next slide, please. And if you've got any questions about this activity, please feel free to ping in chat. I'll keep progressing in the interest of time, right? So guys, that's where this business analysis pitches in. Right, as you can see, that's International Institute of Business Analysis. That's the standard definition that we have provided you here. But let's break it into small pieces, right? And then let's try to relate to what we have just now played in terms of our activity, right? What's the value that we want to present to your stakeholders? Now, stakeholders is anybody, any party which has an interest in a particular value or a product or a service, right? It can either, a stakeholder can affect the business or can be affected by the business or the service or the products, right? There are many stakeholders you can talk about, right? Investors, employees, customers, suppliers, right? Your business product SMEs, you know, the sponsors, maybe whoever can be impacted by the products that you're trying to build or the services that you're trying to offer, or vice versa. Okay, now I will define the value in very simple terms. A project value is defined by the value or the tangible or intangible outcome that you want to create for your stakeholders, right? So you're trying to connect the dots. It could be even improve efficiency. You know, it doesn't have to be a tangible output. It doesn't have to be a mobile app. I'm just giving you some hypothetical example, right? It doesn't have to be a tangible one. It could even improve efficiency, you know, improve performance sometimes, right? So the value to the stakeholder is delivered. So how to deliver those values to the stakeholders, right? You need to have the exact clear definition of the needs first, right? People should be aware of what do they need, what is needed to build that product or service, right? And then you could have multiple solutions. There are many ways to solve a particular problem, right? So what's the most optimal solution for the requirement that is being given to me by the stakeholders? So that's the whole job of business analysis that I can tell you in a nutshell. That's the simplest form of the definition that I can give you, right? So think of this business analysis as just a specialist in the program, and it has been quite popular since Web 2.0, right? When the complexities around this internet, and then, you know, all the software started building up in late 1980s. And we do talk a lot about these in our actual cohorts. I can give you some specific examples, but think of business analysis is a discipline, right? Or a particular stream of work wherein, you know, the PAs identify and articulate the need for change, how the organization should work, and then business analysts, help facilitate that change management. Okay, all right. So Veronica, if you could just probably move on to the next slide for me, please. Yep, thank you. So that's the nutshell about this role of business analyst, right? It's an advisory role. Why? Because I, as a business analyst, have been working as a consultant to my stakeholders. You know, think of a stakeholder as a product SME. You know, sometimes I can give you a small example of bank. My product person, you know, from the bank, ABC, he or she would be probably, working around building rules building the offers, the product specifications of maybe a product, maybe a credit card, for example, right? What are the different fees around the credit card, per payment terms, what are the interest rates, kind of those business rules, and then logics and specifications of a credit card, right? And let's say if there is a new sub product or a new type of product is supposed to be built and delivered, then I would act as a consultant, wherein I specialize in the business analysis framework. I know what's the best form of engagement with the stakeholder, just asking the right questions, understanding the existing processes in the company, organization or the sub business unit, right? What is the current process, and then trying to understand what's the change that is required, defining those requirements, eliciting those requirements, and ensuring that it is translated effectively in such a manner that my business, my product, or sorry, my delivery partners, the ones who are building those rules or systems or softwares, can understand those business terms and definitions and specifications and can deliver the product. So I, as a business analyst, have been working as a bridge between the business and then the technology. So I represent both parts of the world of my organization, right? So when I go into a space of technology partners, I talk to them about maybe sometimes APIs, for example, or databases, or maybe web screens or mobile apps that we have to deliver, right? They would not have the business acumen. And that's when my background knowledge of, having engaged the product people or business people works in hand. And similarly vice versa, when I talk to the business people asking what do you really need, they do not understand the technical word. So I am required in the projects, and being a specialist, I can tell you it's not just here, it's it's across the globe. Every organization needs a business analyst, right? So it does this whole range of responsibilities, and then functionalities and different techniques that you can apply. There are various different process models which are industry specific. Like if you are sitting in London right now or close to London, and if you talk to me in a BA world, I could relate to you because we both are talking in an international language, right, which is well recognized. Okay, so that's how the business analysts are able to deliver the specifications or requirements for a successful project. Okay, thank you, Veronica. Skills of a business analyst, I will be very happy to share that one of the topmost skills, and I would rate, if I were to rate all these 5 or 6 top skills that you have, I would rate communication skills at the topmost, always the highest, because it's the skill of keep asking questions, being very inquisitive about the whole idea. What's the vision that you want to build? Why do you have the need of building this particular product or service, right? If you're able to tap into your stakeholders' brain and then be able to ask the right questions at the right time, so that they can be very clear with you in terms of the requirements. Sometimes you have to probably take them through a journey of this is how we should build the requirements, right? So it may not even come straight up, right? So people are not BAs, right? So my product SME may not be able to deliver the requirements in the language that I want him or her to speak. So I may probably have to guide them, saying, this is how you should be able to break those requirements into small pieces. There are a lot of techniques around that, right? You work through these in a practical manner, which is what you will learn in your practical sessions, right? So we'll equip you with, we'll guide you with the tools and techniques, not just in a theoretical manner. We'll also show you some demos, and then we'll help you work right in classes, and then we'll give you some assignments around that, right? So once you understand those tools and techniques, how can you apply it in your day-to-day world, right? You could very well apply those skills when you go out in the market, right? You're more confident because you know how to create a business case, for example, right? How to even create a use case, for example, right? I mean, how do you write a business requirement document? These are parts of our courses, right? So communication, be it verbal, written, speech, everything is very, very critical, very important, right? People skills, yes, it's more people management. I'm not saying that it's managing people as in like you have reportees. No, it's how do you work with people? There may be some difficult stakeholders sometimes, right? How do you work out your influential power, right? How do you convince some stakeholders around what do they need or what should they need, right? How do you meet people and then probably put those ideas in such a manner wherein it's just sufficient details as much as necessary. It's not too detailed either, or it's not too compressed either, right? You maintain the right balance of your ideas or opinions or facts or statistics, right? And then get the best outcome from what you want, right? So handling people's is another big skill that a business analyst possesses, right? It's not a job wherein you can sit behind the screens or computer screen and you can probably tap some keystrokes. No, that's not it. It's more going out to the world and then presenting some ideas, showcasing your critical analytical thinking, research skills. You do a lot of market research sometimes, look at the competitor, how are they performing, what are their SWOT analysis. There are a lot of techniques that you can think about. Negotiation there's always a trade-off, right? I mean, what's the pros and cons of the requirement or the features or the solution that you're trying to investigate, right? So you always negotiate with your stakeholders. Sometimes what's the trade-off? You say that, okay, if not now, when can this be delivered, right? Kind of those. Okay, technical skills we have kept as optional because it's not a mandatory skill for anybody to have it. Now I can tell you, I was not a technical person when I started my career way back in 2006. I was not a technical person at all, right? But through this due course of my career journey, I've been trying my best to learn it on the job if required, so that it helps me understand the jargons that my technical architects or delivery partners or my developers use. Sometimes it's not a mandatory skill, but it doesn't harm you, when you probably engage yourself in data analysis. Sometimes how can you make decisions in a company? Your data analytics skills always helps you to present the data in the right manner, so that your stakeholders can very well make a decision, right? So you're not a decision maker as a role of business analyst, but you are influential, you influence the decisions that your stakeholders should be making. All right, we'll move on to the next slide, please. Veronica, thank you. Right, so it's quite a complex process model. It may look like, but it's very easy for us to understand once you are able to attend our classes, wherein it's a process model, right? I mean, think of this way: when I'm sitting in Australia, and then if I like to talk to you as a BA or maybe as a stakeholder, you could be my stakeholder, right? You could probably ask me to deliver a mobile app, for example, tomorrow. Why not, right? So how do I understand this language of the same requirements or this business analysis tools and techniques? How do I do that? But there must be a set framework, for example, right? I mean, if some of you guys have already probably been aware of maybe programming language, if somebody has probably done some courses around it or has some experience in programming, or maybe even project management, there's always an industry-wide recognized standard framework, right, which all the BAs could refer to, right? So if I were in doubt, I would always refer back to my basics, and my basics are the foundation of this process model, my tools, my techniques, right? So I would always refer to what different steps did I go through to understand the requirement, first of all, right? And then also be able to come up with a solution and recommend the most optimal solution for my stakeholders, right? So it involves a lot of steps and lot of techniques, lot of analysis that is performed, like a quite important one, like you can see in investigation of situation, you investigate the current existing process, right? You create mind maps, you create some flow charts, for example. You talk about perspectives. People may have different opinion, different perspective from their own interest of the product or the service they want us to deliver, right? What's their perspective? What's their vision? Why do they want us to build, right? What's the modeling? You can come up with some modeling techniques, right? You can find the data statistics around. Let's say, for example, if you want me to build a mobile app again, I'll keep going back to the same example because it's pretty easy for me to connect to it, right? Because I'm pretty sure all of you guys use mobile banking or mobile app, any mobile app for that matter, right? So how many users in London right now in the age bracket of 18 to 25 are using internet banking in digital world, right? It helps me understand the current landscape and what target or what segment of customers I can or I should target. A lot of analysis is performed. One important one is risk analysis. All the BAs, they we are meant to understand and then be very vocal around the risk that this particular whole process or project could pose, or what risk are we trying to solve? How can we mitigate those risks, foresee those risks, and then be able to solve those upfront, right? Okay. There are a lot of modeling techniques, couple of very interesting ones, which is use case diagram. We do have hands-on exercises in our course wherein you could very well not just look at the theoretical knowledge, but also come up with some examples of your own, some work of your own, and then showcase it when you if you're thinking about career change. You could very well showcase your knowledge in a tangible manner. You could show some output, right? You're more confident that way. Okay, so we are pretty much hands-on here. So that's the process modeling I'm talking about, right? So as an overarching strategy and objectives, how do you analyze the needs? How do you elicit those requirements, analyze the options, and then, solve the problems, right? So treat yourself as a problem solver. That's what I would like to call myself, okay? If we can flick to the next slide, please, Veronica, thank you. Very interesting, right? A day in a life of a BA, right? So if I were to just tell you, a day in a life of a BA will never be the same, right? So maybe the day what I was doing yesterday, it could be totally different to what I'm doing today, right? There's a lot of context switching sometimes. So it will be very helpful if you are good at multitasking sometimes, because there's a lot of context switching, right? Treat BA as a central point of communication, or somebody who holds the knowledge, right, about this need of the project, the background of the project, or what could be done, what could be achieved. So you're always the focal point of your communication across each and every stakeholder, right? So sometimes your stakeholders may not be able to talk to each other. That's fine. You always act as a bridge among the stakeholders or between the stakeholders. Okay, you hold the power of knowledge. Okay, that's what makes a very good BA. Okay, as I said earlier, illicit requirements and prioritization. Now, if I were to ask you to build maybe a couple of features, again, I go back to the same example of, let's say, mobile banking, right? If I ask you to build a login screen, a home page, a transaction, make a transaction screen and a logout screen, right? Which one is most prioritized? Which one is the most important for you, right? You could probably live with some and not all, right? So how do you make the prioritization, right? So there are a lot of techniques, Moscow techniques. Some people may have heard about it. Some people just look at very easy, just go for prioritization, must have, should have, could have, right, would have, won't have, kind of those, right? So essentially, be it any technique, I'm not hung up on any technique. There are many techniques in the market, but what helps you is again define the priority and complexity of the features that you want to deliver. All right, facilitate discussions, workshops. It's very interesting. I enjoy this on a daily basis. I will definitely have at least one session or a workshop or some meeting with somebody just to tap their brains. I could very well learn from them. So always open your ears, be very attentive to detail, right? And then capture the ideas, and then come up with your understanding, play it back, right? And then come up with so it helps you derive the solution feasibility, right? There are a lot of techniques and deliverables you're going to talk about, like requirements, documents, right? Use case requirement, traceability metrics, functional requirements for that matter, right? Modeling techniques, analysis, a lot of techniques and deliverables you could implement on a day-to-day basis, right? So you think of yourself as the superstar of a project. Without a business analyst, you are setting the project for failure, the way I would like to put it, right? I mean, because without a business analyst, I mean, if people assume saying that, okay, they could very well directly talk to a BA, you're setting yourself for failure. Okay. When I mentioned this attention to details, and I think I still got about 3 or 4 minutes left for my time, but yeah, think of this simple example. If I ask a question to you, all right? So I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about Sydney and Melbourne, right? They are two famous places in Australia. All right. A very simple question, if I were to ask you, there's a particular flight which takes 1.5 hours to fly from Sydney to Melbourne, but it actually takes 150 minutes to reach back from Melbourne to Sydney. Can anybody explain why would that be happening? I can repeat the question if you want me to.
Can you repeat it, please?
Sure. So a flight takes 1.5 hours to reach from Sydney to Melbourne, but on the way back it takes 150 minutes. Right? Can you guess? Can you give me a possible reason? What could be the geographical or political, economic, socio-economic? Yeah, trade winds. Thank you, Mandy. That's great. That's great. That's one.
Takes a different route.
Pardon me?
It takes a different route on the way back to the one it took
Could be.
on the way.
Yeah, could be. Yes, that's one good reason. Where different route, trade winds, altitude. Wow, somebody said altitude. Good, very good. Anita, keep going, keep going. Any other answer?
Could be the weather for the delay.
Very good, spot on. Very good. Weather for delay. Okay, it happens always though, right?
Yes.
Altitude. Okay, turbulence. Thank you. Any different questions other than weather, altitude, trade winds, route?
Flights going from Sydney to Melbourne could have stopovers while returning back to Sydney. It could be a direct flight.
Wow. Okay, that is great. Thank you. Thank you. Flight time, Linda. Yes, why not? Could be stopover, could be flight time, right? Do you want me to repeat the question one more time? I'll be very slow and I will repeat it for you guys one last time before I close my set of slides. Flight speed and altitude. Thank you, everyone. I did mention it takes 1.5 hours to fly from Sydney to Melbourne. And I did say it takes 150 minutes on the way back. It's the same. 1.5 hours equals 150 minutes. It's the same timing. All right. Blew my mind. Okay. The question was very simple. It's always attention to details. All right. Now it's not unforeseen emergency. It doesn't take longer. It doesn't take shorter. It's the exact same time. All right. So pay attention to details. That's the beauty of, yep, 90 minutes and 150 minutes.
You just confused them right there, Pankaj.
Yeah. Right. So it's a very simple question, but it helps you. I hope it helps you think a little more in detail. As in, like, when you're listening, be very attentive. All right. So not meaning to, kind of demotivate you guys. I'm just thinking like, open up your listening powers and then you'll be amazing BA in no time. All right. So with that, I will hand over to Veronica. I hope you guys enjoyed our little talk. I still have 1 minute to go and my time is finished. So I will say thank you to all of you. All right. And then we'd like to see you guys soon. Over to you, Veronica.
Thank you so very much. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you guys for engaging. I hope you can still hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
I can.
Oh,
Yes.
great stuff. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going through your the chat box there. So a few comments, we will come back to those in a minute. So yeah, Pankaj is our BA trainer. And so when you join us, you will have more of Pankaj. Okay, so because of time, we're going to move swiftly on. Now, what you've seen on the screen is just the BA opportunities. I can see some questions in there. I'll come back to those shortly. But as a business analyst, it is rewarding. It's also evergreen because business analysts are required, just like Pankaj has said. We have businesses looking for different opportunities every day, looking to roll out new products, new services, new technology, and the BA is the go-to. The BA is that person that makes it happen. So a business analyst career is one that will be around for a long time, whether there is recession, whether there's COVID or not. So if you're still thinking, should I look into this? The answer is yes. And what you see here is just, this was something I put together a few months ago, so it could have changed, but potentially what you can gain as a BA in terms of remuneration, what you can get salary-wise as well. So whether it's permanent, whether it's contract that you're looking for, this is just something that I've put here to give you an idea. So before I go into my session, I would like to invite somebody who is currently within our program. She's actually on her way out. She finishes this March. She is interviewing at the moment. We've done the CV clinic, as she's been through this program. She has just 2 minutes to say hi and just to tell you about her experience. Over to you, Jumoke. Just 2 minutes because of time.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Veronica, for inviting me. It's good to be here. Okay, so about me, I'm a mom of 3. I'm a wife. I just finished my MSc program in data science 2 months ago, and I currently, work 9 hours in a day. Why did I join this program? I joined because I needed a change. I want a change so desperate. And yes, I'm already, on the path. I studied a program that is related to IT, that's data science. But I have come to understand that theory knowledge is not the same as gaining hands-on experience, which I needed at the time. So I joined this program June 2021, and I was running it simultaneously, with my MSc program at the same time, and juggling it with motherhood. Like I said, I've got 3 kids, so it's pretty fast-paced and quite demanding. But like I said, there's a saying that nothing ventured, nothing gained. I have my why. I wanted a change, and I wanted a career path that is rewarding, and I could, have a growth path. And this is why I came into this program. It's been amazing. It's been really interesting, though demanding. It's sometimes it gets overwhelming, but I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot, from using tools such as Jira, Confluence, Monday.com, documenting project requirements, documenting and eliciting requirements, presenting project updates, facilitating project requirements, eliciting requirements, and also validating with both internal and external stakeholders. I've learned a lot. I've picked up a lot of technical skills as well as soft skills. Like I said, presentation, stakeholder management. These skills are quite essential as a business analyst. We work a lot under pressure, I would tell you, but this is what obtains in the real world. So I could pretty much say with confidence that I've learned a lot. I've been handed over what I really need, to work out there when I finally land my dream job or land a job as a business analyst. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been an interesting journey. And I just want to encourage you, if you're looking, to navigate a career change into IT, you are, at the verge of making the decision, or you are still trying to delete that. It's like I told myself this year, one of the, goal I wrote this year for myself is by December, the end of this year, I would say to myself in retrospect that 2022 is the year I landed my first paid job in IT as
Have we lost you? Okay. Hi, can you guys hear me? I think she's having network issues.
We can hear you.
Okay, I think that's fine. I was just going to say,
if you're
okay.
trying to make the decision.
Jumoke, we lost you for a few seconds there. I think your internet is funny.
Oh, yeah, my
That's
internet is
okay.
unstable.
No worries.
I'm
That's
sorry about
fine.
that.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you so much. I'm sure Jumoke can go on and on, but because of time, I can see people already asking questions, and we said it was going to be 90 minutes. Jumoke has been on the program. She's been the lead business analyst for one of our external projects, and we threw her right into the deep, and she was able to swim, and she didn't sink. She has picked up a lot of skills. I remember how it was when she first joined, still picking up her confidence with regards to presentation and all of that. So I'm looking forward to actually sharing a success story, because she now started applying next week, and I'm sure she'll do amazing. Thank you very much, Jumoke, for sharing. Okay, so maybe we'll take 1 minute. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. If you want to grab a coffee, tea, and then we come back and we talk about how to make the transition. And we are still going to look at our behind the scenes. We promise that we will do that. Don't worry, we've got a few minutes. I will whiz through as best as I can. So grab yourself a coffee, a glass of water. And if you've got any questions at all, keep popping them in the chat. I will attend to them shortly. And I hope you found Pankaj's session very useful. Yes, it was really high level because this is a taster session. It's not really to give you everything you need, but at least to give you an idea of what you should start looking at. And I will go into a lot of detail. So by exactly 12:08, we will carry on with the next section. So please, or session, grab a drink. And those of you who said done, maybe at the end we will ask you to turn your cameras on so we can see what your paper planes look like. Can you mute yourself, please? Thank you, because we're recording. Mute yourself, thank you. So yeah, 12:08. Okay, so let's talk about right, I was just talking to myself. Right, so let's go. It's 12:08 now. We're going to go quickly whizzing through. Let's talk about how to make this career transition. So you've heard the very high level overview of what business analysis, the definition, what it means. Pankaj has shared his day, and a bit of his experience as a business analyst. Jumoke has talked about her time in the program. Now you're wondering, I want to make, some of you have actually popped in the chat and you've said you want to move to become a business analyst or you want to explore it. And so I'll tell you how to go about it using our approach. Now, before I carry on, is there anybody who is on this, in this masterclass today, who probably has done some business analysis certification? You've been on a program before, but you're here because you want to know more, or you have struggled to actually, get a job as a business analyst. Type in the chat if it is a yes, or just say what your situation is. So you may have, because I come across people who have done the certification. Some of them have the BCS or IIBA business analysis certification. Certifications are amazing. I believe in them because I've got lots of them. So you can check me out on LinkedIn. I believe in them strongly because I believe they give you an edge, but there is more, that you require. And that is kind of what we can help you with. So you've got the BA certification, pop it in the chat, or you have done maybe Agile, you have done maybe Scrum, you've done any of these certifications, as it were, but you're just not finding your way out. Pop it in the chat. I will look at it in a minute. So I will quickly go through, how do you go about it? The first thing is gain clarity. So a lot of people get, excited when they hear about or getting into tech or getting into IT, and they hear how rewarding it is, how you can start getting 300, 350, 400, 450, 500 pounds a day. And for some people, that is what really triggers that interest, which is fine. But when you then get on the journey, you'd have to look at clarity. You now need to work out clarity as to what area. You don't want to be a generalist. You don't want to be everywhere. So in my coaching program, I always talk about, I say to my trainees and my mentees, clarity is number one. And we have a module where we go through getting clarity. Now, clarity as to, is it do you want to change just the role, and you want to remain in the current industry that you are in, or even in the sector? Because some people want to, maybe they are in finance, some people are in health, some people are in, what else is there again? In ad tech, they are in education, they are in any, these various sectors, but they have the different functions. They are maybe doing something else. Maybe you are a market or data analyst, for instance, but you want to become a business analyst. I get that all the time. So you need to understand what it is, be clear. Okay, I'm in marketing, or I'm a customer service agent, even in a tech company, but I want to make that move. I want to shift to become a business analyst. So you need to think through, write it down and be clear. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So clarity is everything. Get that clarity. And I always say when I'm coaching on my program, I say we don't want to be everywhere. We don't spray. We don't just get CV out and send one CV to 150. That will not work. So I say to them, pick at least 2 areas. We call them area of interest. So 2 or maximum 3, sectors that you want to look at. The reason for that is you want to put your best foot forward. So if, for instance, you are currently working within the health sector, I would actually advise that as you make that transition, maybe consider becoming a business analyst within the NHS, within the health sector, because you already have something to leverage. You already have an advantage, and all you're doing is just changing roles. So there's a lot that we do during the coaching exercise. So clarity is very important. Don't be that person who's like, oh, I just want a business analyst. I really don't care anywhere, blah, blah. It will take longer because you find yourself spraying everywhere and praying and hoping that it sticks. But if you're strategic, you will find that the journey will obviously be shorter. So clarity is number 1. Then the second point there that I've put, please mute yourself and put your questions in the chat. Thank you. Informational interviews. So some of you have been on this journey for some time. Some of you even have the certifications. You've been on programs, but you've just not been able to get that job. Now, informational interviews, you might say, what does that mean? It's really about networking. Informational interviews is just you talking to experienced BAs. Can you please mute yourself? Thank you. People who are already in the field, who are already in the industry. You want to talk to them. Just bear with me, I need to mute that person. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with the mute button there. So informational interviews, quickly I'm going to whisk through, is you talking to, go onto LinkedIn, go in the advanced search button, type in business analyst within the sector that you have selected as an area of interest. You will find people that are already business analysts and you go into their DMs. I'm not saying stop people, but be strategic about it. And that's something, one of the things we teach also during our coaching program, how to actually put a script together to start communicating and engaging. There's something called the hidden job market. See, not all the jobs are advertised on job boards. Not all the BA opportunities are advertised on Indeed, JobServe, CV Library, and all these places that you go. Some of them are just within networks. When I look to hire, I start from my network. Recently, I hired a few BAs and privacy analysts. I will ask around, hey guys, I want to fill a position. Can you send me some CVs? And guess what? That's what a lot of hiring managers do. That's what a lot of recruiters do, because it is cheaper than actually going to pay recruitment agencies, which will cost thousands, so they will look within their network. So it's important that you are in the right space, you are in the right communities, and these communities, you can find them on LinkedIn and across various social media platforms. We will share with you at the end. There's a link, a PDF that will give you everything, how to optimize your LinkedIn, how to link up with communities, and some examples. We'll share that shortly. Then the final bit I've got there is give yourself time. Now, a lot of people are in a hurry and they just want to make a change. They're like, oh, I just want to get this. I hear people are getting £400 a day. How can I get it? Some people reach out to me and say, oh, how soon can I quickly get this? If I join this program, how soon can I get the job? And blah, blah. And I say, hey, hang on a minute. Give yourself time, especially if you're coming from a completely new background. You have got to gain mastery of those skills and techniques that Pankaj was talking about. And it does take time. And also, because we want you to be strategic, we want you to hit it right the first time. And so there's a lot that will go into it. So give yourself time. Yes, certifications. Look at actually putting together what you call a portfolio of projects. Now, it's not only some people are, oh, I can't just find anything. I don't know how to gain experience. There's a lot. You can have a passion project. You can put something together. You can decide that, okay, there is a community event going on in your local community. Go there and say, I want to be a part of this. I want to run this as a project, and tell them your goal. So as a as somebody who's looking to make a transition or a career change, you have to be proactive. You have to be ready to take these steps, and then you go. So your project could cut across various areas, as it were. So it doesn't have to only be a tech project. It could be anything. Because of time, I won't go into too much detail. So start building that portfolio, because that is what will go on your CV. And then when you start talking to when you're doing your informational interviews, you will tell them, oh, I've just done this certification and I have some projects that I can actually show you. I can send you a copy of things that I have done. Trust me, I will listen to you as a hiring manager, and there's a lot that you can do. So don't say, I don't have relevant experience, and sit down there and do nothing. There are several ways that you can go about it. Now, what we have there is what we call our Csp process, which is something that, of course, you will learn if you come onto the program. Now, I know I'm talking really quickly. Put all your comments there. We will take them shortly. How do you leverage transferable skills? I was talking to one of the ladies in the program yesterday, and she said she joined a few months now. So she's on a project, our external client project. And she says, oh, I've been looking online, and it looks like entry-level roles are paying lower than what I would like. So, and I'm worried. And I said, don't worry, because you're not going to start from the scratch. I say that to all my clients. I say that to everybody. We don't pitch you to start from entry level, because guess what? You already have some skills that can be transferable. You already have some skills that organizations are looking for, okay? And so we will take advantage of those. When we are putting your CV together, when we're working on Jumoke, who just spoke, she's done a master's in data science. That's on her CV. That is definitely going to count for something. One of the ladies the other day, she's doing an MSc Information Systems, I think it was. We put all of those things on your CV. You've been in marketing, for instance. A lot of tech companies want you who has that marketing expertise and experience, because they build the technology, they develop this software, but they are not the ones they need to go to market. So if you've got that marketing experience and expertise, that is something that you can use to bargain. And we put all of that on your resume, and you can use that to pitch. So you don't pitch with, looking back at where you're coming from or where you are, but we say you actually should pitch with the end in mind, or with the target state where you want to get to. But then you will obviously say, right, okay, I've got this value that I can bring. I've been a sales analyst. I've been in marketing. I've been a customer service agent. I was in customer service. I've been in tech support, but I want to transition. I want to become a business analyst. I've been a data analyst, but I want to become a business analyst. Guess what? Because you've been in these functions and you've got this experience and expertise, that is something that you can sell yourself with. And people say, oh, I think I've had a few times when I'm doing CV reviews, and I find some people say, oh, I removed this out of my CV because it's not techie, because it's not relevant. And I say, please put it back. Then we go through and we see. Now I must caveat, not all experiences, of course, and skills will be transferable. So we will then look at the ones that can be. So when we walk through and we say, right, this one, yes, it is, because it involves maybe engaging stakeholders, it involves working with people, it involves being analytical. So all those skills that Pankaj talked about, those are skills that a BA would require. And some of these skills, guess what? You already are using them in your day job, in what you're doing. You're just not called a business analyst. That's all it is. And we take this and we put it on your CV, so that when you are now putting that CV together, you are not actually setting yourself as a novice or as an entry. You're actually setting yourself as an expert. So that's something that I'm very passionate about. And I say, because you're making a career transition, you don't have to start from entry level. I hope that makes sense. So other areas that can actually lead directly to business analysis. So maybe you're in project management, or you've done it. And I think I was talking to somebody 2 days ago, and she says she's been a project coordinator, but she wants to move into business analysis. I'm like, you already have an edge there because you understand how the project life cycle works. You understand the project environment. So transitioning to business analyst or being a business analyst will be easy or easier. So project coordinator, maybe you're here, you have done that, you've been a PMO analyst or a software developer, QA analyst, technical writer. Now this is sounding all technical, but I have put that note there. Even if you don't fit into any of these technical categories, and you are non-technical, you can still make a successful transition. But it's all about positioning. It's all about actually being strategic and knowing how to package yourself. It is that presentation. So that is very important when I'm working with people. We don't throw away any experience at all. I say put it all in there. Let us craft it so that the right terminology, the right keywords that would actually be attractive to that tech recruiter or hiring manager will be featured on your CV or on your cover letter or when you're having that informational interview. So there's a lot of things that you will need to take into consideration when you are presenting yourself, when you're putting together your personal brand. We talk about personal branding, even when you're making a career change. All of those things, we go into detail later. Because of time, I won't go too much into them. So now I've said here, how do you get a foot in the door? Professional certifications, even though they're not a guarantee, but they give you an edge. Because by the time you're preparing for this, we always say that within our program, we advise you, we recommend you. We're not saying it's compulsory. We're not saying that that's the only way. And by the way, we're not saying that if you have that certification, it's an immediate guarantee. No, because some people have certifications, got loads of it, but the being able to apply it, they don't have a clue. It's all just knowledge, theory knowledge, which is why we bring in that whole hands-on experience part of it. But being certified is very good because some organizations require that. That's a core requirement for them. And because you want to put your best foot forward, we advise that you get at least the foundation. So for those going into business analysis, I would say British Computer Society or IIBA, yes, it's good to have. Because it's just good. And then as you're preparing for the exam, you find out that, of course, you're studying and you're picking up, you're gaining mastery of, this glossary of terms that you need to get into business analysis. And so that's one of the reasons why we advise that you look into that. Then look at gaining hands-on experience to develop the relevant skills. So you might have all the certifications and all these things that you need, but for you to actually function on the job, you need mastery of these skills. And there are several techniques. There are industry standards. There are processes, process models. There's a lot of these keywords that you need to have at least an understanding of. That's why I said, give yourself time. I've come across some people who say, oh, I want this thing quickly. Can I get it in? I'm not saying it's not possible, but I've seen where people have gotten jobs because they just sort of, what you say, wing it, and they just blab their way through the interview, got the job. I've had a team where we had to let 2 contractors go as BAs because they couldn't deliver. And I know that within our program, we don't want people to get the job and not able to keep it. And so we say, take time to develop relevant skills so that you know how to do well on the job. And so within our bootcamp, we teach you how to gain experience. Research is important. So if you're thinking about business analysis, and you hate research, then you're looking in the wrong place, because the BA is every day researching. You're trying to understand the business need. You're trying to help the business to actually, document what it is that they want, what they're looking to achieve or to accomplish. So you would have to do research, you have to read, you have to go and look at what their competitors are doing and things like that. So if you are trying to work out if business analysis is for you or not, and you are somebody who hates research, you might need to think again. Okay, so because you will have to research all the time. Internship opportunities, it comes from networking, being in those communities. I think I was looking for 2 or so volunteers And within the community, I just put a post and I had like 10 or 12 CVs come through. So if you are hanging out in the right communities, you will find opportunities to gain additional experience. So you may have done this certification, or you have been in a different field and you want to get into this. Be in those communities, those BA communities. They are on social media. You can find them on LinkedIn. They're on Facebook. How many of you have heard about Clubhouse? Clubhouse, there is an amazing community in Clubhouse. There is what you call the FANG Club in Clubhouse. FANG just means those are the big 5 tech companies, your Facebook, your Amazon, Apple, Network, Google. They have an amazing room in Clubhouse. If you haven't, go and search Google, find out and get on Clubhouse today. To be in those rooms, people have gotten opportunities by being in those FANG rooms, because a lot of organizations actually come on looking for people who want internship opportunities, people who want to gain experience. And all you just need to do is push yourself forward and say, I am looking for this opportunity, and somebody will definitely offer you that opportunity. Okay, I know I've gone through quickly, so keep popping your questions. I will go behind the scenes shortly, and if you have a question, put it in there, we'll cover them shortly. Now, this is Ade, giving you as an example. Ade was in sales, tech sales. So he was like the salesperson for some tech companies, maybe when they're taking a product, launching a product, as it were, or a software. So he's the kind of person that will maybe look at going to vendors and looking at organizations that may want to buy these products. So he does all of that, but he had done enough of that and wanted to get into business analysis to be part of the people who are obviously building these solutions. So that's when he came on. And I just cut the long story short, Ade, he's a business analyst now. He works for Barclays, has done a few projects, but he started just by coming onto our program, and he was able to learn our mantra, which is learning by doing. He just put himself forward. I was working across different projects to pick up the relevant confidence and experience and what it means to be a business analyst and how to function in the capacity of a business analyst and to be successful. And that's one. Another person was Helen. Also, she had a law background, was interested in business analysis, came onto our program. She, I think the time she got her success story, she had 2 offers. She also worked on one of our projects, GDPR. We had a GDPR compliance project. She works on that project, and today she's a contractor and living the life. But they all started. Esther as well. Esther was in care for 15 years, and she came onto the program. And these ladies are doing amazing. They, of course, were prepared to roll their sleeves up, to put their hands, to get their hands dirty. And that's what we normally would say. Someone would ask me how soon. I'm like, how ready are you to put the work in? If you're ready to put the work in, you will get that job. Okay, so I will pause now for a drink, and I will stop sharing because I'm going to take you into, we've got a few minutes. I will just show you. So within our program, somebody asked me, do you do case studies alone, or do you actually do real life projects? And the answer is we do real life projects. Now I put case study there because case study for today. At the moment, we have some projects in flight and a few kicking off April, May. We've got what we call a CRM implementation project. And now that is an internal project, because for us as a business, now Pankaj was talking to you that the BA, the business analyst, is a problem solver. And that is why a business analyst will be around forever, because businesses have problems every day that they need to solve, or they have identified opportunities that they want to explore, or they want to enhance or to improve existing processes, or different ways of working that they want to maybe make more effective or efficient. They want to streamline, so there are different needs that businesses and organizations have, or goals, as it were. And the business analyst is that middle person that would help them to, first of all, identify or investigate that situation, to say, right, you want to build a CRM, as an example. We, Sterling Careers, we thought we need to get a CRM, what do you call it, a CRM in place. And so maybe let's initiate a CRM implementation project. But of course, it starts from, why do we think we need it? We obviously had some business goals. We had some business needs and some business requirements. So the BA is the custodian of those requirements. The BA holds the requirements and helps the business to see how they can break those requirements down, decompose it, and then pass them on to maybe other stakeholders like the technical team that would eventually help them to build or to improve this process or this system, as it were. So in this scenario that I'm going to show you, we decided that we wanted to build a CRM. And so a project was initiated. And that is what happens a lot of times as a business analyst. You find out, okay, what a business analyst is in an organization, and they say, oh, we want to initiate a project. The BA says, now, Pankaj asked you to build to just, put a paper plane together, and nobody asked any questions. You don't just, as a BA, you don't just say, okay, you just run, no, head first. No, the BA is somebody who asks questions that you have to ask all the 5 whys: why, what, when, where. That is one thing that a BA, so if it's something that you enjoy doing, maybe you're in the right place. And so we came up with a mandate. We came up with a few goals that we wanted, and we presented to the project to say, guys, get us a CRM. What is the reason why we need a CRM? One, we want to improve our existing process. Some of them are our onboarding process, our current sales process, our, I think what was there, marketing strategies, and a lot of these things. Your CRM, what is a CRM? Sorry, is a customer relationship management. That's what it means. So there are a lot of tools or softwares that can actually help you. And then we wanted to improve our customer service. So as an organization or as a business, the organization will start with a list of goals, with a list of business needs, and they then present it to the project team to say, hey, this is the need. Let's start a project. And then you will, of course, ask questions. Why do you need it? Like they say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So the BA will now need to investigate to say, what are the pain points? What are the areas where you're struggling? They will have to engage stakeholders to ask all those questions. And that's where your requirements engineering comes in. I can't go into the detail, but there's something called requirements engineering, which is a technique that the business analyst will have to have in their toolbox. It involves investigating the situation. There are techniques that you can use, and you analyze when you have those high-level requirements. There are techniques that you can use, and there are tools. And some of these things I will show you now. Now, we have this project in flight at the moment. They are carrying out they've done what you call options analysis. They've done some investigation. They have done some research. They have presented to us, and we now said, okay, let us even understand how this will improve our current process. Now, as a business analyst, there's something that you need to do. You need to understand what is the current state? What is the as is, ASIS? Where are you at the moment? What does your current process look like? And the BA is asking these questions. Pankaj says, build a plane. You should have asked him, how should this plane, what are you looking at? Maybe what is the dimension? How long should it be? And all those things. As a business analyst, that's the next thing that you will do. So I've said a lot already. Now I will go into what we call business process modeling, which Pankaj already mentioned a little bit about, but I would just touch a little bit around what the project team are focusing on now. They are trying to help us to document our current state. What are the pain points? They have launched a survey to our existing customers or clients to say, how did you find the onboarding process, as an example? Are there things that could have been improved and things like that? So all those questions that they're asking will then feed into your requirements document as a business analyst. Then you take it back to the business to say, well, these are the pain points that your current clients or customers are having. Even if it is Facebook or any of the big players today, and you find yourself on that job or any of those projects, and they present a mandate, you have to ask these questions. So I'm going to show you an example of a gap analysis, a couple of steps that they've taken. So they are sort of mapping, they've identified our core processes. They're now mapping out they're now doing what you call a business process flow. I don't want to be too technical for those that are not familiar with these terms, but it's just really to say, what does the flow, what does the process look like from when a client comes on, maybe on your website, to when they sign up, to when they actually get onboarded. They want to map that end-to-end process. And the reason you do that as a business analyst is so that you can identify various touch points. Are there, any areas that need improvements? Are there any bottlenecks? Are there any of those stages that can be improved upon or be streamlined? And that is why business analysts will go ahead to carry out what you call business process modeling. And that is one of the several techniques that you would need to understand as a business analyst. I'll pause the screen now, and I'll go quickly into behind the scenes, like we're calling it. Now, one thing that you also will get familiar, you pick up, is knowing these tools and these techniques that you as a BA need in your toolbox, and even when you start applying for jobs, because in as much as you leverage your transferable skills, you could say, yes, I've been a customer service agent, and so I understand all of that. But then you still need to, or you need, please mute yourself, you need an understanding of these BA terminologies, because it has to be on your CV. When you're now going for those interviews, you have to speak like somebody that knows what they're talking about. Right, I'm going to quickly go behind the scenes. I will pause my screen because I don't want to show you everything, but just let me know as soon as you can see my screen. It's just loading. So one of the tools that we use within the academy is called, as I think Jumoke mentioned, Confluence and Jira. Some of you are familiar. So this is just an Atlassian application that we use to model business processes. We use it for documentation, and that is something that you get access to. So we have licenses for our users to get in there. They can practice, they have their practice spaces. When we teach them how, for instance, in Pankaj, once he's going through the theory, we have examples where we show you how to draw a use case diagram, which is one of the techniques that you need to learn as a business analyst, or a business process flow diagram. So we use these tools, and all our trainees have access, and they can actually use this. So the CRM Implementation Project, at the moment, let me share my screen. I hope you can see it. Let me try and make it bigger. Let me know when you can. So what the team have been doing, and I must tell you that a lot of these people who did this had no clue at all before joining, and but now we have been working with them, and I think one of them actually put this together. Tell me as soon as you can see my screen. I think, what have they called this? Sales and marketing. Let me know if you can see the screen.
5.
Yeah, is that yes?
Yes.
Okay. So this probably should be bigger. So essentially, let me see if I can zoom. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. So essentially, as a business analyst, let me bring it close. What they've done, I think I just picked one as an example. They have now identified. So as a BA, you go into that job, that when you get the job eventually, or even if you're trying to put together a project. I talked about you building your portfolio, and you can decide that I want to initiate a project and talk to friends, and nobody is going to put a gun to your head if you actually put together a project where you are now demonstrating your knowledge or experience on how to use these tools or how to, how these techniques work. Then eventually you put it on your CV. So when you're talking at the interview, you will say, oh, this was a passion project of mine, or, a project in my church. I know a few of people, the ladies in the program, one of them was, I think, an admin in the church. And I said, that is a project. So it's how you present it. So you could actually put that portfolio together. So this one, they identified the core functional areas. So accounts is a functional area or a unit or a department. You have admin, you have sales and marketing, and you have maybe the prospect. For instance, you as a prospect, you have come onto this masterclass today because you're thinking about getting into business analysis and you want to maybe join our program eventually. So the BA will speak to stakeholders. They have spoken to me, they have spoken to others in the team, they have spoken to existing students or clients to understand how the process works. Then they now start putting it into making a visual representation. So as a business analyst, you will have to learn how to draw, how to map processes, because when you are having your stakeholder engagement, they say pictures speak 1,000 words. So something that you'd have put in an Excel or in a Word document, you can just create a visual representation of it. And then most senior stakeholders prefer to see the visuals. They just want to see the picture. Tell me, okay, what is it? You have said the process starts maybe from sales and marketing. I'm not sure if this is somebody's practice. I just picked it as an example. It may not be, but yeah. So where does it start from? Does it start from sales and marketing when they launch a marketing campaign? And then what happens? The prospect responds to the campaign, they book a call. So they are mapping the end-to-end process. Do you know what happens? Once they have mapped this process, and now this is what you call the as is, how the process currently is. So you as a business analyst, you map this, then you present it to the stakeholders. You present it to me, maybe as a business owner or maybe my team, to say, is this how the process works? And they may say, no, this one comes before the other. So as a BA, you are making notes of it. The reason you do this module, you put these modules together is for your requirements elicitation, is for your carrying out those analyses. It helps you. These are just techniques that will help you to validate your understanding of the business situation. It's not because we just want to draw diagrams. They are really, that's the reason for that. And then they put that in, and we now review and we provide comments. They go back. Now we have an external client project as well. We have the team that are also working on that. They have conversations with the client. They map this. They do use case diagrams. Let me see if I can go back and give you an example. So this is an example of a business process flow that will help you to understand the current as is, the current situation that the business is, for you to then say, where are the problem, or what are the problem areas? What needs improvement? What should the business need, do? How can this CRM solution that we are exploring help us to streamline our existing process? Then when they understand that, they now map what you call the 2B. So that is the improved process. Because the whole reason for initiating a project is because we want to improve a process that is existing, or we want to explore an opportunity. So there could be different reasons for starting a project. I'm going to go quickly. So this is the CRM implementation. Now, you can see here we have different stages that you will go through. Within our program, you have all the templates for you. And then, of course, for those that are project managing as well, these guys are the ones that are looking at the planning side, the reporting, all this. We break it down for you. You've got the templates for each of each of these at this stage, for each stage, so you know what to do when you get to the stage. Then they are not yet at design and build, but they are now carrying out the analysis. So these are just process maps. I was going to look at if I can find any like a use case diagram, that probably they would have worked on before, just to give you an example. Now, the reason for all of this, so they've identified all these processes. So as a business analyst, you have to map all these processes. You have to have a visual representation, which you present to the organization. Then they will, of course, validate. Then everybody's happy. And then you start documenting your requirement. I would have gone to Jira, but that's a different, that's because of time, we've actually gone over. But then what you now do is you now write that requirement as a business analyst, you document it, and then you present it to the technical team, or the design team will now say, okay, this is how we want this solution to look like. This is how we want the front end to look like. These are the rules and all of that. You're documenting as a BA. So the BA is engaging with the business to understand the business situation, to understand the requirements, the business goals, or the opportunities that the business wants to explore, and then translates these requirements to the development team or the technical solution guys, who would then say, okay, we can build this, and this is what is needed to build this CRM that you're looking at. So within our program, these are all that, one of the teams have actually, this is just one project, the CRM implementation. I don't want to show you everything because we have some client projects for confidentiality purposes. We can't do that. We can't show external client projects, of course, but this is an internal project, and the BA will pick up all these skills. And by the time they finish, someone like Jumoke, who's worked on the external client project and the GDPR project, all of that goes on her CV. And then she's able to demonstrate or articulate with confidence during the interview that I know what I'm talking about. I have done this. I know the techniques, that is needed. I have this experience, and I can bring it on to this job that you're looking for me to take on. So this is essentially, I'm going to look at questions now before we round up to tell you, okay, what we can do to help you on our offer and things like that. So let me take some questions. But this is, essentially you have this access and you have other tools that we use, but I only wanted to show you that the BA, this is where you start from. It's all around owning the requirements, helping the organization to analyze, to document, to validate, and then to, of course, support the successful implementation or delivery of that solution. And that is what that is about. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen, and I will look in the chat box for some questions. So keep them coming. We are rounding up now. Apologies, we went overboard. Yeah, so we have Miro. Can I ask what Miro is used for, please? Okay, so Miro is used for collaboration. It is amazing. So I think it became very popular during the lockdown because people, of course, had to find a way to work remotely. Okay, so it is just, well, I can't show you our Miro board now because we've got our external client stuff on there. So unfortunately, I can't show you that. But it is one tool that we use, and a lot of organizations use it to collaborate. So you can have all of you here. There's about 50 something people we can actually get on one Miro board when we are carrying out a workshop. So as a business analyst, you're going to be doing a lot of workshopping. Workshopping is just you having engagements with maybe technical teams or even the business stakeholders. And for instance, that diagram that I showed you, they kind of mapped it on Miro. So Miro has a lot of templates, whether you want to brainstorm, so brainstorming templates, business process flows, use case models. There's a lot of modeling templates that you can use. So Miro is just to collaborate as teams. So you can then share the link to your Miro board with maybe people who are outside of where you are, whether regardless of where they are, all they need is internet access, and they click the link, they get onto Miro, and then you are collaborating. Teams can collaborate using Miro. You can draw those diagrams as well. So we've also popped a link for you to look at that LinkedIn optimization. Check in the chat box, click the link, and there are some tips there to give you how to optimize your LinkedIn. So you're looking to make a career change into business analysis. Does your LinkedIn say that? You need to start doing that. You need to start saying, I'm open to a BA career. I'm moving from sales and marketing. I want to move into, you're a technical writer, or you're a PMO, you're a QA analyst. You want to move, you need to put it out there. So your LinkedIn optimization is very key, and we have provided a link. Click on that link to help you see how that goes. I'm going to go from the bottom up. What's the difference between business analyst? So a business analyst, I think PK has covered that. A data analyst, of course, is more specialist and is really focusing on analyzing maybe data, for instance. So you could have, they could have some, what you call them, overlaps, okay? So you could actually be a business analyst that is maybe you're specializing in big data projects as an example. So the business analysis side is a generalist area. So a BA, you know how to gather requirements, you know how to document requirements, you know how to help an organization to work through, investigate the situation and carry out that business process model. But then for big data projects as an example, because of your expertise with data analysis, then you of course would do well. So we have currently in my organization, we've got a data team. So because you're a data analyst does not mean you are automatically a business analyst, because you still need to understand what business analysis techniques, the processes, and all those things that a data analyst may not really know about. Okay, a data analyst might just be focusing on, okay, how do you manipulate data? How do you, for instance, your business intelligence, your BI visualization techniques that you would use, does not mean you necessarily understand business analysis. But there might be some data analysts that understand the end-to-end flow of business analysis. Then they can, of course, be hybrid. So they can be data or business analysts with knowledge and experience of data analytics or data analysis. So they are completely two different areas. But a BA sometimes may find themselves having to analyze data. So it just depends. So data could be data is quite broad. Data might be just information that you are maybe picking up from the business and documenting. Data could be, figures, metrics that you are now using maybe to put together, to manipulate, to come up with a reporting dashboard and all. I don't want to go too technical. So they're different. They're not the same. But sometimes you can see them crossing and they can have overlaps, and then you can actually be a hybrid person. But you've got to understand business analysis as a core, in terms of the process, the models, the techniques, and how to go about it. I hope that helps. Okay. As a project support staff, can I do that? Yes, you can, my dear. Who's that? Sheila. Yes. So as you already have understanding of the project world or the project environment, so you have a good edge there. Is all you just need is, okay, maybe at the moment you are in an organization. In fact, I have that all the time. People come in and say, I'm working as a project support. Oh God, I was hoping we won't get to 2 hours. I'm trying really hard. So so somebody might say, I am currently working as a project support person, but I would like to become a business analyst within my organization. Remember, I talked about clarity. So if you want to remain in that sector or in that organization where you want to change roles, you want to move to business analysis, what you want to do is you now need to say, what do I need to function as a BA? What are the skills? What does a BA need? And you start carrying out the informational interviews I talked about. There is a particular example. One of somebody in my current organization, she actually has been the executive assistant to our CTO, but she's been admiring the role of a business analyst for years, but she just wasn't confident to talk about it. But I was talking with her and somehow we got talking and she says, I'd actually like to explore business analysis. I said, why not? Why don't you start shadowing? So you can actually start to reach out, and there's nothing wrong in going to speak to that project team that you are working as a support staff to and say, I am interested in business analysis. Can I shadow somebody? Can I see what you're doing? And you know what? That transition will actually be quicker because you already have an understanding. You have that familiarity already. And I find that it is easier to make that transition. So you probably might now I will advise maybe go and do a quick certification in business analysis so that you pick up you understand that BA, what do you call it, terminology, you have an understanding of business analysis so that those terminologies and techniques and tools and processes will not be going over your head if you're in a meeting. So probably do one quickly within a couple of weeks, get that done, put your head down, and then go and pitch back to say, I'm interested in business analysis. I have been on this project as support staff. I have done this. That's what I did. And I said, I have just got qualified and I want to go for an advancement. You present it, and trust me, it is very easy. So Sheila, explore that. BA and BA are interchangeable. They are not I think I already explained that to Mandy. So for us, we actually have business analysts within our data and our CRM team, and they do a lot of BI activities, but does not mean that they understand the business analysis framework completely. They may, because maybe they're engaging with the BAs, so it is scratches here and there. Sometimes you could have overlaps, but they are different, especially if you're focusing, independently as either a business intelligence professional or a business analyst. But there are quite similarities, or they're quite similar, and you can make a quicker transition if you are within that space, in my opinion. Okay, I think let me see any more questions. Do you offer both pathways or do them together? Both pathways, what do you mean both pathways? Joyce, what do you mean? Is it better to do the project management course first? No, it doesn't matter. Before starting on any training, no. So, okay, let me quickly take yours or your one, Femi. Is it better to do the project management course first before starting on any training project management course? What do you mean? Do you mean certification? Now, like for us, the way we do it, you don't. Even though what we do is we open up project management to everybody because the BA functions within a project. Okay, so we in fact, it is industry, it's an industry standard that at least as a business analyst, you have an understanding of how projects are run, you have an understanding of the project development or project delivery life cycle from when initiation to actually closing the project, because you're functioning within a project. And so what we do is we give you access to, introduction to project management. You understand the project management framework. You understand how projects are run in an agile environment, how you deliver projects in a waterfall environment or a hybrid, so that as a BA, all those things are not going off your head because you are working cross-functionally and you are working with project managers. The BA is actually supporting the project manager. And so you don't have to get that project management certification if that's what you're asking. You can start as a business analyst. But when you now start working on projects, you then will understand how it all pieces together, how the BA supports the successful delivery of a project. So you don't have to do that first. So you can actually come onto the program and we show you, we do the first, what we do is like we do 4 weeks of theory, which I'll show you now, and then you get onto projects. Can I tell you, your hands-on experience is gold, because all the other things will come later. But once you have that and you have built up that confidence and you can demonstrate during interviews that I know what I'm talking about, the others will just sort of flow in. So that is important. So must you have previous work experience in IT? No, I just said that now you don't. So like I was saying, customer service, you just have some experience that you can transfer. It's just about packaging. It's just about presenting yourself well. It's about being in the right communities, in the right network. But I would say even though you don't require it to start, but for you to have an edge, for you to get a foot in the door, you need to start picking up that glossary of terms, because if you get in there, a lot of things will go over your head if you have not picked up an understanding, of tech or IT, as an example. How can a social worker become a BA? Join the program. Social worker, you are working with people, you're working with teams, you are a people person, you're a problem solver, you've got those soft skills. All you need is the technical, maybe just, the knowledge of what BA really is, and which we have covered a little bit today, and understanding, give yourself time, of course. I'm not going to say that tomorrow it's easy for you to change, but you will need to give yourself time to pick up an understanding of this glossary of terms and how a BA works. But yes, you can make a transition from social working or being a social worker to becoming a BA. We have care people who have moved. We have nurses in the program right now are working towards becoming a business analyst. So yes, okay. You have jumped the gun there, but that's fine. I meant business analysts and data analysis. They are different, Joyce. They are different. They are quite different. I won't go into all that detail, but they are different. What is the cost and duration? Okay, so I think that's been put there. So yes, Ngozi, we offer CV clinic. Yes, interview practice, we do that. No, it's part of the program. What qualification do you need to be a BA? You will have to connect with me. You can do BCS BA Foundation. So Google British Computer Society. Maybe you start with a Business Analysis Foundation certificate. That's where I started from. And then you can work your way. So I didn't want us to get to 2 hours, but we have. So thank you so much, all the questions. And you can, of course, email us if you've got any more questions. And also those on the WhatsApp group, we'll keep it open for some time. So you can also bring your questions forward as well. So our offer today, the link has been shared with you. So click on that link. I believe Trevor has put that there. We are offering you an opportunity to come onto the program with us. Our next cohort actually starts in a week or 10 days, I think. And Pankaj, whom you've met, takes the theory. So we offer for the first 4 weekends on Saturdays where you learn the theory on how to become a business analyst. The 4th week, you actually will be prepared to go and write the BCS Foundation exam. We don't administer that, but by the time we've taken you through those 4 weeks, the final one, we do mock exam prep. And we advise and recommend that you go. We show you how to go about, registering and passing those exams. But that is not a prerequisite to, course joining our projects, but it's something we recommend. So you do the 4 weeks. I can't share. I was going to share my slide again. Let me see. I know time's gone. Tell me if you can. So you can see that quickly. So click the link, and this is this is it. So you go through that, the BCS Business Analysis Foundation, or for those that are looking at project management, that's an area, but we're focusing on business analysis. Then the phase 2 is you come and develop skills working on our projects. Some of our projects are internal, some are external projects. And then you, of course, gain all the expertise. Strategic positioning is around the optimizing your personal branding, LinkedIn, your CV. We help you with that, and we prepare you for interview. And accountability and ongoing support is something we offer within our program, because you will be added onto a Telegram group of others. We have experts and people like yourself. Then you have full access to our learning management system for 4 months. We're offering the 4 months program. We've got a 6 months program, but for today, we're focusing on the 4 months program. You have access to all the collaboration, we have recordings from experts, we have videos, it's there. And in your own time, you have 24 access to them. You can have a look at them maybe when you're just chilling out, listen to those videos, or you have an interview, you can go and play it again to remind yourself. You have access to all of that. And we have support, myself and my team support you throughout the course of your program. And you have time to ask any questions, because we'll add you to our Telegram community. And there's a lot of support that so for today, because you have stayed till the end, there is a code which Trevor will pop in the chat. For the 4 months program, we offer, just click the link. This is an offer that's going to only be available for 72 hours. So if you are looking to join us within the next 72 hours, you have to take up the offer. You will need to use that discount code. Because you stay till the end, we promise that. Copy the discount code and apply that. So click the link, and we've got 2 options. Either you pay the one time or you spread it across 3 months installmentally. But the offer only applies to the installment, the 3 months installmental payments, but the one-time offer is what it is. So if you want to pay full-time, you go ahead and pay that $997 within 72 hours, after which we go back to our previous fee, which of course is more than that. So if you would like to take the offer, please go ahead, click the link, it's in the chat. And then also, yes, the strategic positioning. So the coupon code is VYM2022. So that is what will give you that. I did not hear the offer, had networking issues. So the offer, 997, if you want to join the 4 months program. So you have 4 months with us and an additional 6 weeks for career coaching. And that involves CV review, optimizing your LinkedIn, helping you to prep for your interview, and helping you to be strategic in applying for a job. We have a what we call a board, a job board. We have 350 jobs and links to LinkedIn contacts and jobs. We only give access to those that join the program. So there's a lot that you gain from us. And you, of course, have access to working on our projects. At the end of the program, we then give you career referencing. So I'm writing references all the time as people get jobs. So that is something that you get. We don't offer certifications. We only will direct you to the ones that you should be taking. And I hope you have found this useful. So click the link. Can you post that link again? So for today, it is 997 for the 4 months program if you pay once. But if, I didn't want to say that in a recording, but hey, but if you want to take advantage of the 3 months installment, it is 497 times 3. But because you stay till the end, you have the coupon code that gives you £100 off, I think it is. So you use the coupon code of VYM2022. And I'm going to stop now because we have really gone over. Any more questions, jump onto the WhatsApp group and ask the questions. And I hope that you found this useful, and I hope that you will join us to help you make a successful transition. Thank you very much for joining, and enjoy the rest of your day. God bless and take care. Bye-bye, everyone. Any questions, email, DM, or ask on the WhatsApp group. Okay, can we post the WhatsApp group as well? Sorry, quickly before I go. Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Thanks, guys. So click the link to join the WhatsApp, or it will be in your email because I think we sent an email out as well. And I'm going to end the meeting now. Thank you so very much for being here, and enjoy your weekend. God bless.